Up last for our UI elements is the lap counter. This one is the most complicated, but it's still pretty easy to understand. It's going to start off the same as the rest by making a new C# script called lap counter. And then we just drag that onto the lap counter object and open it up. We can get rid of everything that's given to us at the start. We're going to add using Unity engine.ui before writing anything, and open ourselves some space and make some variables. So first is going to be public collider player. This is like grabbing the rigid body, but instead it's grabbing the collider element. And is the public text called lap text. And a private int called laps completed. Of course, the names don't have to be what I'm writing. They can be whatever, help you remember what they're for. But these are very straightforward names for what they correspond to. Our function is going to be a void on trigger enter, and it's going to accept some collider and other parameters. We're going to start it off with an if statement. So if other.tag equals checkpoint, then we're going to be doing things. The first thing we're going to do is laps completed ++, so increment it by 1, and then update the lap text, so lap text.text equals, and then similar to our speedometer, we need this sort of text before the actual number so we know what we're looking at, and then the actual number. So we're going to do that by writing laps and then a colon and a space, a plus, and then laps completed, toString. And one other thing you can add is another quotation mark after a plus sign. Out of 3, or out of however many you want. That's just a /3. If you want to do 5 laps, 4 laps, 2 laps, even 1 lap, you could just change that. Now, if we save this and go back to Unity, and now we can see that we forgot to add our tag to our checkpoint. So we find our checkpoint here, and similar to the ground layer, we're just going to take this option, add tag, and make a tag called checkpoint. And it has to be exactly the same way you spelled it in the script. And we can go back to here, tag it as such, and try again. There's a little mistake here. I put the lap counter script on the lap counter text here when it should be on the player. So instead, we're going to find the motor sphere and find our lap counter script and drag it onto that, and then fill in the options here. So for the player collider is there, and the lap counter text, you could just drag this there. And now when we play test it, it actually does update. So we can go ahead and get rid of this, and then add the last couple things in our script. So all we're going to be doing is adding another if statement. If laps completed is greater than 3, or however many you want it to be for your levels. Then we're going to set the lap text.text equal to lap 3 out of 3. That's just going to be whatever the final lap is, so it'll be 5 out of 5 if you're doing 5 laps. And then the final thing is find object of type, game manager, a set of brackets, a dot, and then a new function that we're going to be adding soon called next stage. We can save this, and next we're going to be working on the game manager.